January 3rd, 2022. A new command I give you: love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. John 13:34-35. The disciples' ears must have perked up at the prospect of a new command. They were steeped in a culture of religious commandments that governed all of life. Not just the ones God had given, but the many more that the religious elite had prescribed. And not just any ordinary command, but one that would set them apart as Jesus' disciples, maybe a new ritual, or different dress code, or unique tradition. Jesus' words were so different, so simple, so difficult. Love one another. I am reminded of the story of Naaman, who was told by the prophet Elisha to bathe in the river Jordan and be healed of his leprosy. And Naaman was offended because he sees this task as humiliating. His servants come to the rescue, telling him that he would have been willing to do some great exploit if the prophet had asked, so why not do this simple act in obedience? He does and is healed. Aren't we often like Naaman? We are ready to show our commitment to God with the religious and spiritual acts, but then He asks us to do something that is simple but humbling: love one another. Like the Pharisees, we find it easier to love God than to love one another. We prefer the structured comfort of religion to the messiness of relationships. Jesus said that loving one another is a command, not an optional extra. He said that it's something we must do. He said it will be a witness to the world. And He even tells us how to love one another, like He has loved us. Each of us has experienced His love: tender, passionate, gracious, merciful, sacrificial, powerful, life-giving, transforming. We just have to love one another from the overflow. As we move into the new year, let's embrace this new command and look to Jesus' example to fulfill it. Today's decree: by our love for one another, everyone will know that we are His disciples.